Okay, so let's dive into Bruno's training so we can stay consistent at home. Whenever we're working with Bruno, we want to reward the behaviors we want to continue to see from him to increase the rate of those behaviors so we can use praise, petting, and treats. We also want to follow through and use our training equipment to make sure that he respects our command. When we do give him a command, he understands what the consequences could be if he chooses not to follow our training commands. So let's start off with loose leash walking, the heel command. We are going to use this collar whenever we take Bruno for walks. That way if he decides not to listen to our command, we can follow through using this training tool. That way he understands to walk with us on a loose leash. So how to put this collar on and take it off. We're going to hold one link steady, and then we're going to push this link down and through so it pops off. So we're going to push it down and through. Then we're going to put this collar around Bruno, and then we're going to squeeze this part to put it back together. We can't pull it through the top, we do have to squeeze the two, so they all should line up like this. Then we're going to attach the leash to the D-ring, the one that has the flat side that also rotates with our leash. When we use this collar, we are going to use a quick tug and release to get his attention when he chooses not to follow our command. So for the heel, we have him heel, he walks next to us on a nice loose leash. Let's say we're passing a distraction like a car. If he decides to try and walk too fast or walk towards the car, that's not the heel position, so we're going to tell him no, pop the leash, and then remind him heel. Now when he is walking next to us, we're going to reward that with treats, praise, and or petting. So when he is doing a really good job walking next to us, we're going to tell him good heel, and we're going to give him a treat using our left hand. That way he knows that, hey, this is a good position to be in. We're going to reinforce and reward you when you do the command that we're asking. So 85 to 90% of your walk should be in the heel, where he's walking next to us on a nice loose leash. The other 10 to 15%, we can give him the release command free so that he can go at the end of the leash and sniff and explore. So again, we want to reward when he's in the position and use the leash to pop and release and correct him if he tries to walk too far ahead or he's not walking next to us on a loose leash. Now if he lags a little bit behind, that's okay. We can just say, hey, good boy, and cheer him up to us. But if he's kind of lollygagging back there, then we can tell him no, like if he's looking at a car, no, and pop and release the leash to get his attention and follow through with the heel command. Then we have sit. Sit, down, and place all means stay is implied in the command. A sit stay is more of a short duration stay, like for door manners or when you're out for a walk and you're crossing a sidewalk and you want to stop and have him sit. So it's more of a short duration stay. Whenever you go up to a door, you're going to have him sit to practice door manners. This is to prevent him from just bolting out the door ahead of us. So we have him sit and we open the door. We do need to give him verbal reminders throughout his stay. That way he understands, oh, I'm still supposed to stay even if we move. So we tell him sit. We open the door. Now I have him either free or heel with me. We walk through the door together, or you can tell him sit, remind him to stay, walk through the door without him, and then tell him free to call him through the door. Either way, whatever's easiest for you. If he gets up from the sit before you tell him free, no, pop the leash up, remind him to sit. So it's always no, pop the leash, give the command. No, pop the leash, give the command. That way he learns that your no means that you're going to follow through with the correction at an appropriate time. So then we have down stay. Down means lay down and stay. So whenever we tell him down, if he does, great. If not, the difference with the leash is when it's on him, instead of popping up, we're going to give a slight pop down. We don't have to go all the way to the ground, just a little bit lower. Say no, pop down. Same thing if he gets up from the down stay before we tell him free. No, pop the leash down. When we want him to stay, we give the verbal cue down again. That way he doesn't have to memorize the stay, because down, the stay is implied until he is told free, that release term. So whenever we were done with his down stay, we go to him, we reward him in the stay to let him know that he did a good job, and then we tell him free. We don't free from a distance, because if we put him in a down and then walk 20 feet away and then tell him free to come to us, he is learning that he doesn't have to stay the entire time, so he breaks the stay command to come get the treat from us. So we want to make sure he gets the reward while he is in the down stay command. Then we have place. Place just means all 4 feet on an elevated boundary or bed. So when guests are coming over or when you need him to relax, like if he's been running around and he needs a little break, put him on place. Whenever he's on place, good boy, we're going to put treats on the bed, so let him know that the place is the positive zone to be. If he gets off the bed, no, pop the leash back towards the bed, place. He, again, with the downstay, he has to stay until we go to him and tell him free. So whenever you're doing distractions, you'll give him little verbal reminders, good place, and you can reward throughout his day as long as he's staying on the bed and not being pushy or anything. But if he does step off the bed before he's told free, no, pop the leash back to the bed, remind him place, and then do your distraction again, like when guests come over, so he's not jumping up and being all excited with them. He still gets to be included, but he is on place. So he is still in the picture, but not directly jumping on people. So again, free him from the bed, don't free from a distance. Then we have come when called. So whenever you're practicing come when called, I recommend having a leash on him for sure, especially when you're not in a fenced-in area, so that if he doesn't follow through with your command, you can say no, pop the leash, and reel him into you. So I recommend having a leash on him in the house too, so you can follow through with these commands in the house. So again, with come, he's free, so he can explore. When you're ready to call him, you can say, Bruno, come. Good boy. As he runs to you, you're going to praise, then have him sit and reward. Even if you have to use the leash to correct him, you still want to reward, because you want him to associate the word come with a positive association with running to you. So he's free. He can explore at the end of the leash. I recommend having a 30 to 50 foot leash on him. Bruno, come. He comes to you, great, sit, reward. If he doesn't, no, pop the leash, reel him in, come, and then you still reward, so you're the positive zone. So when you're working with Bruno, have fun, stay consistent, and now we're going to show you Bruno's commands. Down. Good boy. Down. Good down. Good down. Good down.